Welcome back to Bloom. Our next guest believes that everyone is worthy and deserving of healing, overcoming, and transforming. Joining us to talk about a mindful makeover is author and life coach Stephanie Catalano. Welcome, Stephanie.
Hi, thank you.
So I like to say that I'm a big proponent of being mindful, and I like to think that I'm mindful, but maybe I'm not always as mindful as I could be. But for people who have never heard this concept, what is mindfulness?
Yes, so mindfulness has been defined in many ways, but in essence, it's the psychological process of learning how to bring one's awareness or attention to the present moment without passing judgment.
Oh, without passing judgment. Okay.
Yeah, that's like
that
the
seems like
kicker.
a harder thing to do. Yeah.
Yeah, so without passing judgment, that's the part that really gets people, because it's this idea to show up in your life as if you're experiencing something for the first time, without seeing it as necessarily this is a good experience or a bad experience. It's just an experience.
Okay, so you say that sometimes we might need a mindful makeover. So how does that work?
Yeah, so Mindful Makeover is actually a workbook that I created, and the idea of this workbook is to guide people on this inward experience of identifying any barriers, blocks, or beliefs that are keeping them from truly being able to live life in the present moment. And the reason for that is sometimes people have this understanding of what it means to show up in the present moment, but if you don't have a deeper awareness of the chatter that's going on in the back of your mind, it could be really, really difficult to actually be present in your life.
What are some sort of symptoms that someone might be experiencing in their daily life that would link to, okay, yes, you kind of need to take a mindful moment to sort of reset this?
Yes, so if you're that person who's often dwelling on the past or worrying about the future and kind of waiting for the right time, then that would indicate you're kind of living in the mode of stress and survival mode and not really being present.
Okay, what's the difference between, you know, I'm a mom of a 4-year-old, mom stress and just life stress, and then a situation of dwelling and not being able to advance because of blocks in our mind?
Sure. So I think it's one thing to have a normal stressful moment, especially in the world we live in, right? We live in a modern, fast world.
Yeah.
But it's a whole other thing if you're that person who's often finding yourself stuck and not able to move forward in your life, perhaps because the same patterns are showing up and the same behaviors are holding you back.
Okay, why are you so passionate about this? Why do you think living mindfully is important?
I believe living mindfully is so important, for one, because in my own life there was a time that I identified I was absolutely living on autopilot, and it's when I learned of mindfulness I had this light bulb go off that, wait a minute, you mean to tell me I can actually live right now? I no longer have to relive the stories of my past, and that became really interesting to me. And then as a professional began to observe others' behaviors, I quickly caught on that people of all ages are living in either yesterday or tomorrow, and most often both. And so it's important to live mindfully, because if not, you're just missing out on the only real time you have, which is right now.
Okay, so do you have any simple ways that we can sort of assess our mindfulness, or things we can do to make sure we're present?
Sure. So the first thing would actually be to just begin paying attention by being present in the moment. And when you find yourself either drifting to the past or the future, slow down, notice that, and come back to the here and now. And then another thing is what I call creating mindful moments. So sometimes people think they have to do these big things, and it can be as simple as, at a red light, focus on the things you're grateful for, maybe name off the things that went well in the day. It could be at the table, you know, limiting having your phone at the table and really just being present while you're eating with your family or friends.
Do you find that cell phones and social media are kind of something that triggers us to even be less mindful? Because sometimes I'll find myself like walking to the bathroom and I have to look at my phone and I don't even know why.
Yes, absolutely. I think there's a need for digital detox more than ever right now. The phones are distracting us on all levels, and it's definitely a barrier to us showing up in the moment, because we're down, we're looking at it
the whole time, and then you forget 10 seconds later what you were even looking at. I don't know why I had to look at the recipe of how to make sweet potatoes for Thanksgiving, but you know, you do.
Yeah.
And then you forget where you are, what you're doing.
Yes.
So in your makeover, you said the book workbook, what are some of the activities we would do?
So it's an action-based workbook. The idea is one question per day, and I created an evidence-based formula that I refer to as the Magic 4, which covers the key principles of awareness, acceptance, accountability, and action. And so that's the roadmap that guides you through your experience of achieving your mindful makeover. And the idea is that each day you'll answer one question that's going to help you look in, and then you're also offered practical skills that you can begin applying right away.
Okay, is there a way that if someone has a really stressful job that you would recommend something they do, you know, in the middle of their work day to sort of help them?
Absolutely. So just taking breaks. I think walking away from your desk is a huge one, and really giving yourself time and space to just step outside, get some fresh air. Take your time drinking your water, go freshen up your coffee. really it's about disconnecting and giving yourself that moment just to come back to you, come back to the center.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much, Stephanie, for this. If you'd like more information, you can visit Stephanie's website at mindfulliving.com, and she's offering some free videos to Bloom viewers. Just use the promo code BLOOM. Thank you, Stephanie.
Thank you.
All right, you guys can be mindful. You can go walk outside, but come back because we'll be right back with more Bloom. Stay tuned.